The plants that I'm going to show you now have all been under a 20-watt full spectrum grow light for about 8 months now, and they've been in a dark part of a room that's been illuminated by the grow light, and I wanted to show you the growth that's taken place. This Crassula alcensis variety Titanopsis, it's grown and it's flowered, and perhaps I was expecting this because this plant is one that tends to grow okay in shade, and you can look at its leaves. The leaves have maintained a good condition. There is no bolting of the shoots that you would expect from a succulent placed in a dark position. As I say, there are a number of flower stems here, and you can see the flowers there. It's a nice crassula, but I would say these flower stems are longer than they would normally be if they were in full sunlight on a windowsill or in a greenhouse. So this is Crassula alcensis Titanopsis, the first plant. The second plant I wanted to show you is Crassula perforata, and I would say this plant has probably been fairly close to the grow light, and it's bent significantly towards the grow light. The stems have lengthened considerably, and I would say that this plant has lost its compact appearance under the grow light, unfortunately. So that's Crassula perforata. I wouldn't recommend the grow light for this, I don't think. This is one that really needs a significant amount of sunshine to grow well. And this is the first of 3 cacti that I'll show you that have been under the grow light. And this is a stenocactus or echinophosilocactus under the grow light for a number of months. And as you can probably see, it's grown. It's produced a lot of fluff at the top of the plant, but as yet, sadly, it's not produced any buds or flowers at all, and I doubt if it will do. It's okay, this plant will survive well under the grow light. Again, it's probably been about 6 inches away from the grow light, so I think probably this plant will survive but may well not flower under those growing conditions. Here's a Parodia, looks like Parodia Lenninghausii or something similar to that. Again, this is a plant that's probably been about 7 or 8 inches from the grow light, and you can see it has grown, and there's a fair amount of growth actually, but I would say that this growth is quite soft. The plant is surviving. I would say it's reasonably happy under the grow light conditions, but again, perhaps not recommended for this cactus. And here's a Thellocephala cactus which has been under the grow light quite close, maybe 6 inches away for about 7 or 8 months now. The plant is growing pretty well, I would say, but as you can well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. You can't see any buds there. The growing tip doesn't seem to have expanded significantly, so I'm inclined to believe that this plant has hardly grown at all. The light is not sufficient for it. And I think probably what is true, because the plant is covered in white down, if you like, or the areoles cover it, the plant looks white. It really needs a lot more light to grow effectively. So I wouldn't recommend the grow light for this plant or plants like it. Another cactus, this is Stetsonia corinne or Corinne, not sure how to pronounce it. You can see where the growth has taken place in the last 8 months. Not a tremendous amount of growth, but it is growing and it's not etiolating, or the growth isn't stretching out. So I would say this plant is doing perhaps a little better than surviving under the grow light. As I say, it's pretty close. This is the one that's closest to the light, maybe 4 or 5 to 6 inches. Stetsonia, and there's the growth that it's made in the last few months. Another crassula, this is Crassula muscosa, and this seems to be doing fine under the grow light. It is growing, but all the shoots are pointing in one direction, growing towards the grow light itself. And that's a common comment on all these tall growing succulents under grow lights. They will grow towards the direction of where the light is coming from. And I think 20 watts is a little low. All these plants grow towards the grow light because the room is relatively dark during the day and night, of course. The grow light is on for about, I would say, 12 to 15 hours a day. And I think that they really do need that amount of light in order to succeed under the grow light. That's Crassula muscosa. Here's the largest cactus I have under the grow light. It's a mammillaria, I believe, Mystax. I have to say it looks like it might be growing. If you look at the growing tip there, the growing tip is active. It's not etiolated at all. It's not stretched out, but there have been no flowers on this plant this year for the first time. This plant does not grow and produce flowers under the grow light. So what are my conclusions about all these plants under the grow lights? Well, they survive and they grow a little bit, but if you want flowers, the only plant that's succeeded particularly in producing flowers is Crassula ausensis variety Titanopsis. So this growing condition is not considered really suitable for most succulent plants, I have to say. I will continue with it where I lack space to put the plants in good light, but the grow light I don't think will succeed, not unless I put a lot more powerful lights in to mimic the sunlight a bit better. So if you liked this video, thanks. Please like and subscribe. If you did, thanks for watching.